Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Vivid Earth. Today, I wanted to talk about what's going on in the world right now. We are moving through extraordinary times right now in terms of what's going on in our environment, in the cosmos, on the world stage. It is unprecedented times that we're in. And I want to talk about the energetics of what we are seeing right now because it's pretty intense. Whether people are aware of it or not, it is, you can't ignore it, right? So we've seen the auroras over the last couple of days coming alive all over the world, more pronouncedly in the US, across the US and Canada, but also visible in other areas of the world and even from South Africa. I didn't see them personally, but I believe about 2 days ago they were visible in the night sky. And these were just incredible phenomenon. And a lot of people said, oh, it's HARP. Um, the thing is, HARP can't create, HARP is not that powerful. Let's just not give it more credit than it actually deserves. We are experiencing incredible phenomena around the world right now and in the cosmos, like I said. And it's no accident, and it is certainly not a coincidence. And it's all in perfect timing, just coming together like a firestorm. Let me take you through it. So we've seen the auroras. We're seeing currently a bit of a solar flash potential as well. We've seen Earth's grid accelerating. And so the energetic window we are in right now and what we're moving through is one of the strongest energetic windows that we've seen all year. It's been undeniable. Just saw an X 5.1 flare as well. The auroras were also not just random, not just aesthetic, not just pretty skies. They actually mark a threshold being crossed by our planet right now. The solar activity has been unusually amplified with all these X flares. I think there's up to 4 or 5 now we've had just in the past week or so. We've seen incredible geomagnetic storms, a G-force storm. Here where I am, it's been very windy, and I think a lot of people are experiencing a lot of wind worldwide. Um, and we're also seeing a very rapid increase in plasma density around the Earth, which is interesting. So many people are feeling this physically, emotionally, or even intuitively. They can just feel something is shifting, something is different, something is up. Because this wasn't just space weather, but this was consciousness weather, okay? Consciousness weather is what we're seeing playing out right now, not just a scientific fact of space weather due to whatever's going on. So what the aurora is actually signaling to us, it's almost like a planetary ignition event, a handover point where Earth absorbed a new level of encoded solar light. And when you see those auroras in the sky, it is actually plasma moving. So when you see the colors and then it looks like waves, it looks like, fabric blowing in the wind almost, some of those. Um, this is plasma that you see moving. Um, so these are not just beautiful skies, it's actually the sun transmitting geometry, crystalline plasma, and higher dimensional coding into the Earth grid and the human biofield. So this is an upgrade not only for the planet, but also for all the beings on it. Um, so the rare red auroras, for example, that we've been seeing, specifically indicate like a root level clearing, like a root chakra of the earth and its inhabitants. Because remember, we've been in fight or flight as a collective for, I would say, thousands of years. We've been kept in fear, we've been kept in lack, survival mode. Not all of us, but many of us. And it's one way or another, you may have experienced this survival mode. And so this is all busy dissolving at the moment. And it's almost like a survival imprint that is releasing right now, that have been, it's like a deprogram that has been programmed into Earth's grid and its inhabitants. It's also about ancestral density clearing. we're doing this for a lot of the ancestors. We're clearing the karma. We are ending the cycle of trauma. And this is a very important aspect of the ascension process, not just for us as humans, but for the planet at large. So we're also seeing the dissolution of old polarized identity structures. So that's also going to start releasing, and that's going to help dissolve the division and the polarization that we are seeing worldwide. So this is why many may feel sort of emotional purges during this time, or surges, exhaustion. Some are reporting dizziness, ringing in the ears, heart expansions or flutters, and or deep rest cycles where they just want to sleep, more than usual, and they may be not feeling rested when they wake up. Or a lot of people are also experiencing very interesting and vivid dreams, even lucid dreams. So the body is now integrating this baseline frequency. And so we're seeing it play out in all these symptoms that we're experiencing. Now, to get to the solar flash or the solar window that we're currently in, so many are asking whether this is building towards a solar flash. What's happening now feels like a micro flash sequence of events. We're seeing all these micro flashes coming through, right, instead of one big flash. Waves of highly coded plasma arriving in intervals, digestible chunks or intervals. So it may not be a single dramatic event, but a series of progressive activations that accomplish the same thing. So we're talking about DNA assimilation, higher brain activity, heart field expansion, and the thinning of the psychic atmosphere. So getting or having more intuitive access for many. Many are feeling their intuitive skills coming online in a big way over this time. Now, when we're looking at the actual grid acceleration or activation that we're seeing in Earth's field, so Earth's crystalline grid and magnetospheres also has been undergoing rapid changes during this time. So with regards to the magnetosphere, it's become thinner and more permeable during the storm window. Some even say there's a crack. Okay, so plasma is penetrating much deeper than usual because of all of these sort of technical, you could say, solar activities going on. There's these cracks in the magnetosphere, so plasma can come through much more easily. Um, so it's creating like a direct interaction with our nervous system. A lot of you may have felt a little bit anxious, a little bit nervous. You may even have felt your actual nerves being more sensitive. I've been feeling it in my scalp. Definitely my nerve endings in my scalp has become much more sensitive and a little bit painful even. Or you may even have like pressure in your head or buzzing, or you feel vertigo or heart flutters. This is all part of the recalibration. It's helping your DNA upgrade and your body's recalibrating to hold this new state, to hold more light. And it's done in incremental phases, so as to not damage the body or shock the body too much. So the crystalline grid is actually receiving geometric restructuring right now. Lines of light that are moving faster, which means things like manifestation, intuition, and even emotional processing all accelerate. I've heard a lot of people talk about manifestation that is speeding up and accelerating, and that is interesting. And that was always one of the things that we're going to come online faster with the ascension into 5D, where reportedly we would be able to manifest almost instantly. So you can see now that is already accelerating. So the grid is faster and the human system is syncing to that speed. We're also seeing something else going on within the starseed community. We're seeing the dissolution of like a rescuer archetype. So a huge piece of this window is the death of the old starseed identity of rescuing, absorbing, wanting to save others all the time, or feeling like they need to, like they're just absorbing other people's energy and they are just bearing the brunt of it while trying to save others. That is no longer something that works, and it's something that is busy dissolving. So these dynamics can't survive in the new frequency, and it has to go. So for anyone that has been there, I'd be curious to know if you are feeling different, like you don't need to save people anymore. Um, that rescue mission is now shifting, right? Well, shifting more into like a sovereign anchoring instead of intervention right now. So it's about anchoring in the new energy, the new light codes, and actually affecting the planet that way instead of, physically trying to rescue people and waking them up and, trying to educate them, which we know has not really been very effective anyway. So the new role is more about coherence, not rescue, because if you are more coherent, it affects the field and it affects the entire planet and those around you for sure. So the era is now more about this new era is all about presence, not performance, or embodiment over theory. So we no longer just talk about it intellectually; we actually embody what does that mean. Um, you know, to be coherent, to be letting go of density. It's more about frequency over trying to fix things or fix others. When you are emitting the right frequency and you are in coherence in your heart and your brain and your whole body and your field, you become that eye of the storm, the eye in the storm, which is calm, which is focused, which is grounded, which is connected, because we are all connected. It's just about accepting that and realizing that we are not alone. We're not on our own. Um, so some of the physical and emotional symptoms that people might be experiencing are things like fatigue, like I said, sudden burst of clarity, which definitely I've had as well. Changes in appetite or food intolerances. You maybe don't want to eat the same foods anymore. You can't eat the same food anymore. It's just not agreeing with your body suddenly. So follow those nudges and those instincts, give your body what it needs. Don't just stick to what you've always done in the past. If your body's asking for something else, listen, try it out, see if it works for your body. And then, of course, the dizziness and some spatial distortion where people just feel like, whoa, where am I? That is something that we're seeing as well. And then the intense dreams, the dream coding, like I said, people are having strange dreams, trying to figure out what does it mean. I have been dreaming of airplanes so many times now, different scenarios, but I keep dreaming about airplanes or airports. And then I had somebody talk about that being, symbolizing ascension and how you're moving from stage to stage. And literally, the plane might be ascending. And the one dream I had was just being in the airport and, I'm kind of queuing for this flight or moving to that side of the airport and then rushing and hoping that I'm going to make it in time and things like that. So I'm trying to decode what does that all mean. But definitely had a lot of airport and airplane dreams of late. And airplanes really that are not your usual airplanes. They are huge and they have different areas. I would say they are maybe a mothership, but they don't feel that modern, although they do feel more like almost like a cruise liner, but somehow I knew that they were an airplane of sorts or an aircraft, shall we say. So we say. So that's been interesting as well, just moving in different parts of the plane and, I don't know, it didn't really make a whole lot of sense up the stairs, down the stairs. Maybe it's all symbolic of the whole ascension process, like that person said. Um, but anyway, you may also see things like you may even have like emotional releases without clear reason. You just feel something come up and it releases and let it, don't overanalyze it too much right now. You might also see or experience increased telepathy or intuitive hits, which a lot of people are reporting on, buzzing, tingling, or heat waves in the body. This is something that I've seen a lot of people talk about. They're just having all these like night sweats, or they're sweating more than usual, or their body's very hot. This is definitely part of the recalibration process as well. So let the body adjust. Don't overanalyze and give it what it needs, right now. Intuitively just follow the hints. And none of these things are malfunctions. They're all signs of repatterning, readjusting, recalibration. We even seeing the animals. Can you imagine the animals are feeling it as well? Although they can't talk about it, they can't verbalize it, but they're acting strange, right? The birds, the whales, the dolphins, your pets, even the migration patterns are all adjusting right now. Also because of all the solar activity. So that's kind of messed with their internal GPS system. Like I said, the magnetic grid is one of their main navigational tools. And since the magnetic field is much lower right now, it is affecting them. So disrupted or recalibrated magnetosphere can lead to a temporary disorientation for them. So many animal species are absorbing the codes faster than humans and actually often act as stabilizers for the field. So they're actually helping us. So we have to thank the animals for their part in this big shift that they're experiencing on Earth. So right now, what we're seeing, we're kind of right now in an integration phase. The Schumann resonance is quite calm. So you'll see just, spots of green, no sort of big white light showers or red scratchy energy coming through. It's more about integration because we've been through a lot these last few weeks, right? With all the solar flares, the X5.1, we're even seeing earthquake activity around the world. Fortunately, no major devastating earthquakes, but there has been a lot, like what they would call earthquake storms around Japan, and specifically, so Japan has been an area of concern. But fortunately, so far, it's looking okay, and we hope it remains that way. I think there was another big earthquake in Russia. What is that place called? Forgot now. But it's kind of a not very inhabited area, sort of more in the ocean, fortunately. So it hasn't really majorly affected a lot of people, at least. So remember, your body's catching up to the light that just entered, massive light and plasma. The grid is stabilizing at a faster frequency now, and your intuition is sharper, your boundaries are clearer, and your sensitivity is higher because the veil between the physical and the subtle planes is thin right now, and it's thinning. So this is kind of a crystalline window, a moment where new identity structures can actually lock in, new missions can lock in. So what is being asked of us right now? What does all of this mean? Well, it means you have to slow everything down right now because everything is moving faster. You've got to slow down. That's exactly what you need to give, the opposite of what we see and experience. Your nervous system must absorb things before it can expand. So you don't want to be overstimulating your nervous system. So just take it easy. You don't need to do so much right now. You will achieve more by being and just actually slowing down. That will actually be more efficient for your body and for your ascension journey. So don't override your body. When it wants to rest, rest. Rest when you're guided to. Eat grounding foods if you need to. That could be like, I don't know, sweet potatoes or, root vegetables. Those are always a good one. Hydrate. That's one of the most important things we can do right now because there's light in living water. So by giving your body the living water, you allow more light to come in and permeate. You're also allowing the detoxing process to take place because a lot of this is leading to a lot of detox symptoms and detoxing within the body. So allowing more toxins to flow and be transported out of the body. And then also just support the vagus nerve right now. There's a lot of exercises you can do for the vagus nerve to calm it down. I do that through qigong and through different movements. So, but I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find a ton of stuff you can do. and just allow things like relationships and habits and patterns just to recalibrate. It's kind of just readjusting right now. So take it easy. Don't get into arguments. Just let things settle a little bit. That you'll be well placed to do that. So whatever falls away right now, let it fall away cleanly. Don't, get into the drama, and just anchor your frequency. That's the most important thing you can do right now. Your presence is exactly the technology needed for you to actually anchor this in. And then just trust the intelligence of the moment, because everything is so beautifully, divinely timed. It's incredible how intelligent this system actually is. Our system, the cosmos, everything working together, nature, the planet, it's all just a beautiful symphony coming together. So remember, this is not the end of something, it's the ignition of something new that we are seeing here now. So, stay grounded, stay open, stay coherent. You are the still point in the field. Like I said, you are the eye in the storm, eye of the storm. And yeah, I think those are the very important things right now. I just wanted to also touch on the science. So the coronal hole that we currently see that's facing Earth is really a source of very fast solar wind. So this wind compresses and excites our magnetosphere. And that is why things are feeling. So the X-class flares release radiation that can cause even radio or GPS disruptions. So expect to see some of that. But there's no physical harms to humans on Earth. So if you see any of those fear porn posts, just trust your gut. Really, literally trust your gut, because it will tell you. If you have feel like a pit in your stomach, then don't follow it. Don't, you don't resonate with it. And that will guide you, you know. So if there's anything with a clickbait title or fear porn or urgent this or that or catastrophe, don't even look at it. Um, but really, the solar wind carries a south wind magnetic field right now. So the Earth's magnetic sphere is briefly opening through magnetic reconnection, as they call it in science, or in, you know, um, geo-weather studies. So it's allowing more energy into the Earth. And that is why everything, as I said, is working together so beautifully. And the effects and the codes that Atlas, the interstellar object, is releasing also to the Earth right now through the sun as a portal is playing a role in that. So yeah, as I said, these openings are not dangerous. They are pretty normal, natural, and expected during solar maximum, because currently we are in a solar maximum for solar cycle 25. So if a CME and an open reconnection window align, the energy transfer literally intensifies. So that will mean stronger auroras, stronger geomagnetic storms, and stronger energetic shifts. So that is kind of the scientific side of it. And if you look at more the metaphysical side of it, well, when the sun pulses, the grid breathes, right? We can feel it. They work together. And when the Earth's grid breathes or moves, your field, your personal biofield responds. So if you're sensitive, intuitive, or more galactically attuned, especially if your soul is aligned with sort of Arcturian, Lyran, or Andromedan coding, you will probably feel it first. And that's why I've been feeling it first. I often say to people, whoa, did you just feel that? What's happening? Nobody else is saying anything, and then suddenly, bam, there's a Schumann resonance will just show massive activity, or there will be a solar flare that's just come in. So, the week ahead, you will still see some of this. Despite the integration, you will maybe experience heightened intuition or vivid dreams, even prophetic dreams, ear ringing, frequency shifts. Because the ear ringing is often like you can pick up like a frequency shift. And I've had a lot of those as well over the last 2 weeks, where you're just like, the pitch just goes up. Bing. It's not actually like ear ringing. It's more like you can hear the frequency shifting around you. It's like I can hear everything, all the objects around me vibrate in a certain frequency. And then suddenly things will just like shift. And it's like, okay, we just had a frequency upgrade. Um, and so, all these metaphysical aspects and the things that you feel that the science community is not talking about, is pretty normal. These are all just ascension symptoms. And the body's adjusting to the faster light. So it is to be expected. Um, so what else? Yeah, as I said, 3-hour Atlas. Also, there's been a lot of comets around 3-hour Atlas. We had the Borisov one. I think it disappeared and then it came back. And then we've got Swan, and there's a host of other comets. There's like something like 6 or 7 around Atlas. Um, and it's not like some people are going to say, oh, 3-hour Atlas is heading for Earth. It's going to hit the Earth. No, it's not. It's not going to explode. There's nothing negative going to come in or happening. So there's nothing to be concerned about. These objects are actually acting as resonance carriers, and they help our intuition come online. The dimensional thinning that we're seeing right now, the grid activation, the memory surfacing, the emotional purging, the dream state communications, they helping that along with the solar flares, actually interacting with the sun and the solar flares. They don't cause the solar events, they enhance what the sun is already doing. So it's almost like they are tuning forks for the earth. That's a cool way to kind of look at it, So just make sure you ground, you ground every day, you ground deeply with your barefoot feet on the earth, you breathe slowly, hydrate, as I said, sun gazing in the morning and the afternoon, very important. And then just speak your field really into alignment, because you are in charge of it. There's nothing to fear about, the sun ever. So the sun pulses codes through us, to us, and your DNA listens, and your remembrance awakens. And that is priceless. What a time to be alive. With regards to what's going on in the world, we are also making history on the world stage. The government shutdown ended after, well, a decision was made after 40 days and 40 nights. I think it was 42 days when it eventually was signed and sealed. And, a lot of people say this was the end of US Inc. and the restoration of the Organic Republic of the US. So, on the 13th of November, that could be an event that is written in history in the future, as the day the new republic was instituted. You saw that photo or that video of Trump with all the, the military and all his team basically in the White House signing that executive order. It's historical. So, on the world stage, there's a lot going on as well. Resignations are continuing, and this is exactly what we can expect from such dramatic activity. Nothing can stay hidden at this point. Darkness has to come to light, and we will continue to see massive exposure and disclosure. So just be encouraged, because we're moving in the right direction. Even if the movie may indicate something is wrong, it's part of the movie. Like Mamdani, a lot of people were freaking out that he was the new mayor of New York. And they've already released newly leaked documents from the DSA that show that He plans to terminate all city contracts with companies connected to Israel and withdraw city funds from banks that finance the Jewish state. So could he be used by the White Hats really to clean up the city under a different banner? He's a White Hat operation all the way. He's just doing the dirty work now of the White Hats, because it wouldn't look good if they did it, right? So it's all about optics. And even companies like, big lenders like JP Morgan, Citibank, Goldman Sachs, um, contracts will be ending with those banks, and they're calling it ethical financing for liberation. But all of this is a waking up operation, central casting. Mamdani is even listed as an actor on the website IMDb. You can go and check it out. IMDb is a site that it's almost like a platform where actors are listed, so that when people are looking for actors, they go there. You can see it. Just go and check it out. It's all there. Um, in the meantime, with all of this stuff going on, we're seeing, starships and motherships closer than ever. A lot of people are seeing a lot of activity in the sky. We have so much galactic help right now, and they're clamoring for front row seats for what's going on Earth right now. It really is an event of note, and all eyes are on Earth right now. So if that doesn't give you a warm, fuzzy feeling, then I don't know what will. But they are there, trust me. Sometimes in the sky, masked by clouds, but you can see the anomalies in the sky for sure. In the meantime, we're seeing a lot of activity on the financial front. We see ISO 0022 coming into effect on the 22nd of November. And that's going to have huge impact on the banks, because a lot of them will not have the liquidity. So could that be the start of a whole shaking up of the systems? And I can't help but notice that it is ISO 20022 that comes into effect on this 2 November, 22nd of November, and add 1 and 1 together, and it's another 2. Like literally, I don't know. That's not a coincidence for sure. And we're hearing a lot of rumors about the Iraqi dinar RV, which is the one that'll be kicking off that whole rehabilitation of suppressed currency worldwide. They are getting very, very close, and they are actually, it's not just, pie in the sky, it's actual things happening in the country. They say it's already revalued in the country. So now it's just a matter of advertising, or putting an advert in the Gazette so that it can be made official. But I believe it's lining up with other events as well. So all in divine timing. I don't follow any of those timelines. I don't listen to any of those RV influences. I think most of them are just taking advantage of whatever hype is being created, and they're looking for things that are not at the best for humanity. They're looking for fame, they're looking for attention, they're looking for fortune. I think a lot of them do not have the best interests of people at heart, and they're not doing this for the right reasons. So I don't listen to any of them. Most of them are too obsessed with money anyway. It doesn't resonate with me. I don't see that as a thing. I think everything will work out the way it's supposed to, and we will all be looked after. So I'm not going to run around any false hope out there. And I would recommend you don't do that either. But yeah, just interestingly that they said the new value of the Iraqi dinar is between $3 and something and $4.32 or something like that. And actually, if you look at the pre-1990 value of the Iraqi dinar before the 1991 Gulf War, it was at $3.20. So if it's going to be restored to that, well, we know what happened post Gulf War and the collapse, the UN sanctions, the hyperinflation, the dual currency system then emerged. There were Swiss dinars, Saddam dinars. So many things happened that were really, really unfair to that country and a lot of countries, not just them. So things will be reset and rebalanced, all in divine timing, right? So no need to get all our knickers into a knot. Um, what else? What else can I share with you today? Let me have a look. And this, I love this post that was shared. The quantum consciousness shift has already started. Earth is no longer operating in the same frequency it once was. A powerful recalibration has occurred in the planetary grid, and the collective is now inside a shift so vast, most have no words to describe it. This is not a theory or something to look forward to in the distant future. It is happening now. You're already inside it. So time feels faster because the energetic pulse of Earth has accelerated. Linear time is breaking down as higher dimensional energies compress timelines and dissolve the illusion of separation. What used to take months or years to manifest now shows up in days, sometimes minutes. It mirrors what I've said also earlier in this episode. Your thoughts are syncing with reality at quantum speed. This is why your mindset, emotional state, and focus are more important than ever. I concur. So you may notice all systems falling apart, lies are feeling heavier, cannot be inauthentic anymore, truth hits harder. People are suddenly waking up and asking questions they never asked before. So none of this is a coincidence. That is frequency, none other than frequency. So when light intensifies, darkness cannot hide anymore, like I said. This is why so many distractions are being thrown into the collective field. The matrix is glitching and scrambling to keep its grid, but it cannot win, not this time. The shift is personal and planetary. Your body is upgrading, your cells are receiving new codes, your intuition is louder, your dreams are more vivid, your heart is guiding you with more precision than ever before. You are remembering who you really are beyond this body and this temporary reality. There's no going back. The only way forward is through the heart. You do not need to wait for some grand event. The shift is not outside of you, it is you. Every choice you make in alignment with truth, love, and authenticity strengthens the new earth. Every time you release fear and choose trust, you embody more of your divine essence. This is what you came for. You were not born just to survive a crumbling system. You were born to anchor a new one. And that's why we don't watch the buildings burn in the background. The quantum shift is not coming, it's already begun, and you are already a part of it. So do not forget that. So be encouraged, be excited, have an open heart, have compassion for those around you. The normies are acting strange, they are exhausted, they're irritable. Have compassion for them. Don't get your knickers in a knot. Do not get upset. Have a neutral stance. Be the observer. Be the eye in the storm. And all will be well. I promise. We're living through historic times. So enjoy every moment. And I will see you in a few days. I'm sending you. Oh, before I say the end, all the links are below. Be sure to subscribe, please, and share this content if you did enjoy it so we can get the word out. I still have to try and merge my old channels, that the one I got back, the second one I haven't tried because I need to look for passwords and stuff. But yeah, it's a bit of a pain. So make sure that you like and share, and that also that you check out all the links below. The LifeWave crystal patch technology is a wonderful support right now. And what else? That's it. If you want to join our 5D community, we meet on Zoom every second Sunday. So we're not meeting this Sunday, but next Sunday, the 23rd. I think it's the 23rd. We are meeting again, and we are a wonderful community. So if you're looking for like-minded people to connect with in a very intimate environment where you can participate, ask questions, meet people, connect, and share, you can check out my website, vividearth.org. You can just scroll down. There will be a section for the 5D community and how to join. So in the meantime, I send you much love. Speak to you soon.